Hey guys, what's going on? I'm doing a follow-up to my Option Bandits review. So for you guys that haven't watched the other videos, I suggest you look back a couple of videos on this channel and check them out. I'll also leave a link to the full review article that I've started on Option Bandits. And so this is a service that gives out a pre-market Telegram watch list with triggers and stop losses and profit targets. And it's been heavily advertised on Facebook ads. I'm pretty sure if you're in this space, you'll have seen the Options Bandits Facebook ads. The whole program currently is $199 for forever, so it's a lifetime offer, which is really good value. But the big question I have is the system actually profitable overall, and is it something that I'd recommend? So far, I'm kind of enjoying it, but there's really not much guidance on a lot of things. It's very simple, bare bones type of system. It's okay. I mean, I've started to document the results, like in this article here, showing the ones that profit and things. But I thought I'd go through today's again, just to kind of show you what happened. I haven't actually looked myself, so I'll be doing this kind of analysis in real time to see if today's trades worked out or not. Overall, I think this is a decent service so far. I think it's probably worth the money, but really you have to do a lot of extra work on top of what they give you. So let me show you what they sent out this morning. So every morning around market open, they sent out a Telegram message. It looks like this. So today's date is 12/7th up here. See if we can zoom in. Kind of small. Let me see. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. It's not letting me zoom in very well on this particular version of Telegram, but you can see that they sent out Amazon calls, strike price $88, expiring 3 days from now, so 12:30. Potential entry, break and hold above 86, stop loss maximum 30%. I've noticed they've stopped putting a profit target on here, which is kind of weird. Let's check it out though. So if we had looked up Amazon, here's Amazon today. And what were they saying? So they were saying a break and hold above 86 would trigger a long entry. And so it never got anywhere close to there. So Amazon calls would not have been triggered today. 86 is up here. So that trade would have been not something we would have got into. 86 would be here. So for you guys that are new, I know I've been talking to some guys about Options Bandits. So the idea is that they give a trigger line, which on Amazon is this one. If the stock, the underlying stock, breaks up and holds above this, that's when they recommend entering this particular trade, which is call options on Amazon with a strike of $88, expiring 3 days from now. And so that trade was not initiated today at all. Let's look at Apple next. So Apple, they were looking at puts, so they were betting the Apple price would go down if it broke and held below 129.5. So let's go to Apple. Looking at Apple today, 129.5 was, so I just draw my little line on here. Just check I'm looking at today's, yep. So 129.5 did actually trigger, so here we go, so I'll draw it in right here. So again, the Option Bandits were saying if this thing triggers below, so in these candles, it did trigger below and hold below, it would actually have been a quick little trade here. The big question is, would this have been a profitable trade, and if so, how much would you have made? And to do that, let's look at the actual contracts on Apple here, since it did trigger on this 5-minute candle at 9:55 Eastern. So the way I'm going to do that is, let's look and see what contracts it actually was. So they were looking at Apple puts here, strike price of 128 for the end of the month. So let's go to my brokerage, 128 strike. So this is how you do it. It's pretty easy. December 30th right here. So if you look on the right, here is the puts column. I think it was 130s, right? For this. So look. So sorry, the strike price was 128. So click on this guy, send that to the charts. Oops. So now we're plotting the contract price as a function of time instead of the underlying. So this is today, 12:27. And so The trade was triggered at 8.55 on here, so you can see where the cursor is right here, which would give a contract price of 135, and the maximum of the contract price spiked to 166. So there would have been time here to take a bit of a move, 8.55, and so you could have gone from 140-ish to maybe 160, which is about 15%. So you maybe would have got a little bit of a move here. And since they don't give a profit target, so they've stopped giving profit targets on the Apple puts, the profit would have been maybe 10%, but you certainly wouldn't have got anywhere close to like a 30% profit target. So this is what you have to be careful with, and somebody asked me to do this and show the actual options like this, because it really helps to say, okay, well, sure, it did actually break and hold below the 129.5, but there wasn't much real potential for profit here, maybe 10% if you timed it well. And what could have ended up happening if you'd held too long would be you'd end up getting your max stop out at 30%, because that would have been something that was pretty easy to do, right? If you'd chased it a little bit up here somewhere, say at 140 or 150, say 150, you'd easily have been stopping out down here. Remember, this is the contract price of Apple, not the actual stock price. Go back to the stock price here, and you can see, again, it broke down, but it came back up really quickly. So technically, potentially a win, but I would say that one is kind of wishy-washy as well on Apple. So that's one Amazon call or pick that never triggered. Then we had Apple puts that maybe you could have eked out 10% if you were lucky on. And then let's look at the cat calls really quick. So go to cat, CAT. Let's mark on here what they wanted it to do. So they were betting it would go up, and it had to break and hold above 242 for it to be a valid entry, which it did. So this one looks like it could be a bit better of a winner than the other ones. So we go here, 242, try and mark it right there. Yeah, so you can see my GPS signals, these green lines are also signaling along here, which is cool, because if this was something I was looking to trade, I'd probably be looking for confirmation from the GPS. And it actually looks like the GPS put a level here very close to where the options bandits were suggesting a breakout would occur. This one looks nice. So you can see we had a breakout above the key line at 910. And so if we go and look at this on the options contract for at 910, we can see how far up this actually went to tell, like, you know, would it have been a successful trade. So let's look at the contracts again. So cat calls 12:30, so the same expiration, 250 strike. So go to here, 250 strike. So 250, that's these guys. Going to send those to the chart here. So now we're looking not at the underlying stock, but rather at the options contracts. So like I said, this would have been a good call out. So let's see, this was where they indicated. So let me just mark it on here. So 910. So this is where the trade would have begun, and this was high of the day here. So let's see what percentage that would have been. Zoom in right like this. And so you'd have got entry when the contracts were around 0.45, and then you nearly got a double. So that's pretty nice, right? So they nearly doubled. 0.9 would be double over the course of the next hour and a half. So this one would have worked really well. So whilst the other two were kind of duds, this one actually on cat would have been a nice trade for the day. And so I think hopefully there's just one or two more. I don't know if I want to go through all of them. I might do it for the article. How about we just do, interesting, they have NVDA puts here and like the opposite, so for the calls. And so what I'll probably do is just stop there. I don't want to bore you guys and go through every single one. It's because you kind of get the idea. And I'll post this in the article, and you can go and back test the rest of them if you want to yourself. Or if you have any questions, I can go and do it for you. But there's no point in going through every single one of these. But you kind of get the idea. Alright guys, hopefully that's helpful. I'll talk to you soon.